Welcome to a special crossover episode of Out of the Office. Today we're planning our summer bucket list with Visit VBR and the If You Know, You Know podcast. I'm your host, Em Portner, bringing you ideas for your next Out of the Office adventure. On this month's episode, we have Kathryn and Grace from Visit VBR and Carol from the If You Know, You Know podcast. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, Em. Hi.
Carol, can you start off by telling us a little bit about If You Know, You Know?
Sure. If You Know, You Know is the City of Roanoke's municipal podcast. We love to go behind the scenes and bring folks all things Roanoke. So we want you to know what's happening in the city, but also who's making it happen. So we're really excited to be crossing over with you today.
Great. Yeah, I also listen to basically everything you do because don't tell anyone, but I live in the city, so you got to stay informed.
Exactly.
And then we, of course, also have Visit VBR on with us today. Kathryn and Grace, can you tell us a little bit about what each of you do and what Visit VBR does for the region?
Absolutely. So Grace and I make up the public relations department of Visit VBR. So everything that I do, Grace really does, that we both work together kind of in tandem. And Visit VBR is our area's regional tourism agency. So you can kind of think of us as the official marketing agency for this region. So we represent both Roanoke City and Roanoke County, but also Botetourt, Franklin, and the city of Salem. And so we market our region to visitors and encourage them to come down and spend their dollars on all of our great attractions.
Yes, we love when people come and spend their dollars here.
We do. We love visitors. But some of the work you do also is kind of local, right? Like it kind of helps those of us who live here know what's happening, across localities.
Absolutely. So our calendar of events is the most visited page on our website. And we've also got a really great social media account, Instagram and our Facebook, that Jennifer Hayward does a great job of running. And that's actually one of my favorite, even though I work for the tourism office, that's one of my favorite places to go to stay up to date on everything that's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then as we get into the episode, I want to know, because our theme is summer bucket list. So what's on everyone's summer bucket list this summer?
I can start with mine. I have done all of the hikes that make up the Triple Crown itself, but it's spanned over a couple years. So I want to do it in 3 weeks, I think, do one every weekend. So I think that is my main bucket list for this summer, is just complete the Triple Crown all in 3 weeks.
Nice.
Very nice.
Mine's kind of outdoor themed also, so I love the water, anything getting out on the water. So typically I just do a little lazy tubing, and so I'm going to try and do kayaking this year and actually kayak it. So I'll probably rent a kayak from Roanoke Mountain Adventures.
Fun.
Yeah.
Mine's also outdoors, but less outdoor themed. Some of my favorite art across the city is the murals that we have going up everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I really want to take an official walking tour and really look at all of the art all in one day.
Yeah, I would love the Carol approved walking tour, with all the pins of where everything is.
All the pins, yes. I might take my camera along with me.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I also have an outdoor theme. So it's I've done I think most, if not all, of the hikes in the city and county. I've explored quite a bit around. So I'm stretching a little bit still in the Visit VBR footprint. In Botetourt, there are 2 hikes I want to do. So Flat Top and Roaring Run are on my list for this summer.
That's a great one.
And then because I have to throw in something for the county, I'm also a big brewery fan. And I haven't been out to Solstice Farm Brewery yet out in Catawba. So that's also on my bucket list this year.
Very fun. Well, it sounds like we all have good summer plans.
Yeah.
Even if we're not going anywhere.
Exploring, yeah. Embracing the Blue Ridge.
Exactly.
So what are the can't miss events that are happening this summer?
Well, it's really hard to narrow down some can't miss events, but a new one for the first of its kind will be the USA Cycling, Mountain Biking, and Endurance National Championship. So that will take place from July 14th to the 20th, and in a few different locations. There will be an endurance race out at Carvin's Cove. There will be another mountain biking portion up at Explore Park where they're, actually building out some new trails for it. And then what is going to be really cool will be Elmwood Park. They're going to have a race actually in Elmwood. They've built new courses up there that are already with features that you can go out and explore. In about a month, the official courses for all these races will be revealed. So this is actually going to be a really fun spectator event. even if you're not a cyclist or know nothing about the cycling community. What are you looking for?
Another first of its kind event. We've got the first ever the Virginia Blue Ridge Restaurant Week. That's going to be May 31st to June 8th, and that'll be all 5 of our jurisdictions participating in a restaurant week. So being able to go to, Botetourt County, Roanoke County, any of them, and try out the new restaurants and kind of see what they have going on. So I'm really excited for that.
What else? So we've got Wingfest. Roanoke Wingfest is a really fun one. That is, I don't think they've released the official dates for it yet, but it's always in August, typically somewhere from mid to late August. Yeah. And then, more family-friendly events, looking at the fireworks at River's Edge on the 4th of July, and then the Salem Fair. I mean, you can't talk about summer events without talking about the Salem Fair. That is July 2nd through the 13th, and it's the largest free gate fair in Virginia, so you don't have to pay anything to go in. My favorite part of that is all the fair food. I'm already looking forward to funnel cake.
Yeah, I was about to say, my favorite part of that is just going to get a funnel cake. Yeah, it's like you go in, you get a funnel cake, you leave, and it's you didn't have to pay for admission for your 2,000 calories
for your entire day's worth of food and one snack. Yeah. I wanted to go shift gears, pardon the pun, real quick, and go back to the mountain bike racing and the USA Championships. So this is not the first year we've had USA Cycling coming to our area. Events like that, how much tourism does that bring to our area beyond just the cyclists who are coming in?
Yeah, so you're looking at over 1,000 cyclists coming into the area for, the biggest championship for mountain biking. These are people that have, very likely were competing for Team USA over in Paris this past summer. So with that, they bring a lot of spectators with them. They bring their family and their friends, and this event takes place over an entire week. So they're going to be coming in beforehand to test out the course. They might even be coming in weeks beforehand to test the courses out, and then come back again for the actual event. It being a week long means they're staying here for a really long time, and they're spending their money. That's touching really every corner of our region, from even the grocery stores. You've got the co-op just really close to the course in Elmwood Park, all of our wonderful restaurants, and their family and friends are going to be looking for things to do while they're in the area. So they're not just going to be doing these races and sticking in the immediate footprint of the events. They're going to be getting out, maybe heading up to the lake, checking off some bucket list items of their own.
Absolutely. Well, and I can imagine the celebrations for when it's finally over and they're like, I've done the best I could, now let's go party.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And having 7 breweries within a 1-mile radius downtown means that's going to be very easy and convenient for them.
Fun. Very fun. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then just some other kind of unique events coming up this summer. There's the R&B is for Lovers Festival that Humble Hustle is putting on, and that will be June 7th down at Elmwood Park, and then Big Lit Comic-Con in August. So there's always some really cool, unique celebrities there. Typically Power, some of the original Power Rangers have been there in the past. So yeah, a little something for everybody.
Yeah, that's definitely a little different than some of the things we've been talking about, because we, focused a lot on the outdoors, and it's sometimes, in the heat of August, it's nice to be in a well AC'd convention center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and also, so much of what we focused on has been getting out and doing something, and not that you're not doing something at a convention. It's just a totally different, flair and aspect of enjoying yourself throughout VBR. So yeah, that's fun.
So what are the staples that are returning this year? We've talked about some new stuff, but what's our tried and trues?
Oh, gosh. Well, I know we did just mention a bunch of them. But speaking of just kind of staples, I like going out and getting the summer seasonal produce at some of our farmers markets around the area, whether it be the downtown Roanoke Farmers Market, where that's a really great place to also get a lot of artisan goods, different things, pottery, photography, all kinds of unique items. And then there's the West End Farmers Market, which is on a Tuesday. So that's nice that if you've got a really busy weekend, you can just go out in the middle of the week. And then the Grandin Village Farmers Market, of course, is just a really great one. They've got music going on. I love to get the donuts from R&D. Those are a staple of ours. What else do you enjoying the summer, Grace?
One of the things I've found a lot of fun is going to the Dog Bowl at Black Dog Salvage, going to the monthly music series there that 5 Points puts on. It's been fun. They've got vendors there. They've got, like, you know, every month they do one performance, and you get to kind of sit and watch, and it's kind of a new way to experience live music. It's a lot more relaxed. You just kind of sit in the grass and just listen. It feels like a more kind of leisurely music experience rather than going to, like, Elmwood Park, which is still a lot of fun, but, like, it's just nice to get a different kind of perspective of how to enjoy live music, I think.
Yeah, and then kind of in that same vein, out at Explorer Park once a month, they have the Tavern Series music, and it's kind of the same. Like, you're just sitting in the grass, you're enjoying live music. If you want a beer or food, the Twin Creeks is out there too, and their next one, I'll just pitch it since we're talking about it, is June 13th, and it's Father Son's going to be the band that's playing there. So, yeah, those are always really fun, and if you're in the county and you want to see some of your elected officials, a lot of board members also come to those. So I don't know if that's going to intimidate people from coming, but if you want to meet some of your board members, they're often there too.
And I guess I like to look at some of our businesses and attractions that are open year round, but summer is just the perfect time to go to them. So Blue Cow, I like to go get some ice cream, walk on the Greenway, anything I can do to get on the river. Even, I know Grace does some paddling up on the James River too, a little further up in Botetourt.
You can't go wrong with doing the hike up to the Star also. I feel like you can kind of do it year round, but in the summer too, I think you get a better experience. The weather's a little cooler when you get to the top there, so it's kind of a nice little reward that you get the nice overlook, but also slightly cooler than normal. And then while you're up there, you can go to the Mill Mountain Zoo. I personally take everyone who comes to visit me there. I love the red pandas. Hyatt is my best friend, but he doesn't know it. It's very one-sided, but, you know, it's fine.
Well, and it looks like we might have some new trails opening up on Mill Mountain later this year, so that'll be fun to get out and explore too.
Yes, looking forward to that. And I couldn't mention ice cream without mentioning Hank 10. That's a seasonal one that I always look forward to reopening in the summer, getting their Dole Whip, and again, going on the Greenway by the Roanoke River.
Well, and while we're, shouting some things out, I do want to shout out all of our Wasena businesses in that area. Absolutely. I know it's a little bit harder to get there with the bridge the way it is right now. It's coming. Yeah. But, if you're on the Greenway, that's just such an easy stopping point. Stop and get yourself a treat and visit some of those businesses.
Yeah, and I feel like kind of a hidden gem for thrifting is Roanoke Mountain Adventures. You can get some really good outdoor brands there. Talking about the river, they have a lot of Chacos there actually, and like in really good condition.
Interesting.
It's very Chaco town, Roanoke.
yeah.
But what about the best free events to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So Grace, I'll let you. I've been talking too much.
My personal favorite is Flotilla. I love going to that one. You go right to Start Hill. I love being in the water, and I love when it's allowed and when you get to do it with a bunch of people that are excited to just be lazy and laying down and just hanging out with your friends. I think that's one that I look forward to every year. When I moved here originally, I was stoked to find out it existed at all, and it's become kind of a staple in my personal life to be able to kind of get out there and get on the water. Blue Ridge Parkway, I mean, even just taking like a drive up there, parking at all the overlooks, getting off, making my family take pictures of the scenes and sending them to our other family and being like, haha, my view's better. And while you're there too, you're already set to kind of get yourself to explore park. You can get the riverfront access there and get back in the water, which is a recurring theme for me in the summers. Yeah. So I think those are two of my favorites. What about you?
Yeah, and then I know that there is the Hello Summer Fest going on at Green Hill Park, which I think is a really great one for families. They've got that whole kids zone with all the inflatables, and but there's also, it's in partnership with 5 Points Outdoors. So there's a big stage, and there will be 3 different artists performing that day. So a big free concert as well. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. Haven't been before.
Yeah, that is June 20th, and I have in my notes because I was looking at it today. They're actually at 9:30 doing a drone show. So instead of fireworks, they're doing drones. And according to the Parks and Rec website, it's the first of its kind in the region. But yeah, that's definitely going to be really exciting to see like all of the things drones can do. Like I've seen videos of drone shows, but I have not seen a drone show firsthand.
I'm excited about that one. Yeah. And I just, shout out to my friends in the county. I love Green Hill Park. Like I know it's well known, but like what a hidden gem, like pushed back off of Main Street, and it's just so nice and open out there. I love Green Hill Park.
So we've kind of talked about a lot of the top spots, but what are some of the other top destinations for the area?
So it's really, you can't talk about icons in Roanoke without talking about the Roanoke Star and McAfee Knob. So even if you've experienced those before, I mean, the Roanoke Star is where you have to take somebody every time they visit, or the first time that they visit. There's, we've got the new trails coming up that we just mentioned. So that's another new way to experience it. And then McAfee Knob, if you haven't, get up there and check out the new pedestrian bridge that is making it so much safer to cross. I've heard that the parking lot is so incredibly organized now. Parking's a lot better there, but just take parking completely out of the equation and take the shuttle up there. It's only $5-6 each way. That is just a really great way to get up there.
Yeah, and they've expanded the shuttle stops too, so there's more options in Salem. It goes to Dragon's Tooth as well now. So if you, wanted to take the shuttle but like park in downtown Salem, like there are options for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, our Roanoke River is so iconic too. But in downtown Roanoke, I mean, we've got stuff that's, again, if you're not outdoorsy, there's some iconic places down there too.
Yeah, we've got Center in the Square. I mean, we have, Roanoke's first rooftop bar that you can go at Six and Sky, or there's 4 museums inside. You can go to Mill Mountain Theater and catch a local show. There's a ton of places to eat downtown. There's my personal favorite, which is scrambled for breakfast, and really just kind of anything that you're in the mood for, whether it's like adventure, attraction, food, you can kind of find it all downtown. Or I honestly like even just walking downtown. I take my dog out, we go Linens and Ladles, which is the kitchen store downtown. My dog Lady is like a known staple of visitor at Linens and Ladles. She gets more treats than she's probably supposed to every time, but it's another one of those things where like you just kind of feel so at home there that I love to kind of make it a weekly stop if I can.
Yeah. And then I just had something. Oh, our hotels. I think our hotels are, we think of those so much as being places for visitors, but the Hotel Roanoke has so many great, they've got the seasonal events and stuff, but they've also got really great dining. That's what all of our hotels downtown have, I think, is very underrated for their dining. I mean, you've got the 1882 restaurant over at Hotel Roanoke. Love going out and sitting on the patio in the summer and just watching the trains go by, or seeing, having that perfect view of the Roanoke Star in downtown Roanoke. And if you're looking for kind of a nice date night out or a special occasion, the Vault, can't go to the Vault without getting their khachapuri, a big bread-filled dish full of cheese. And then, for the adventurous, you've got a Nordic-style restaurant in Roanoke, which is probably, pretty hard to find even all across Virginia.
So we've kind of touched on some good spots, but what are the spots like people might not know about? Like what are the under the radar type
hidden gems?
Hidden gems, yeah.
Well, you mentioned one of them earlier when you talked about Solstice Farm Brewing.
Yeah.
I went there last summer for the first time, and I love it. I mean, it's right around the corner, basically, from McAfee Knob. So it's a good, what we like to call trail to tap room hike. It's really cool because you'll also see a lot of Appalachian Trail through hikers there. So great place to probably get some good stories and just meet some fun strangers.
In that area as well, there's Hanging Rock Tavern, which is new, but it's very good. I went a couple weeks ago probably, and it's a nice family spot, which I think is good if you don't want to take your kids on the full hikes. They've got kind of a trail that you can go off that's pretty well lit, pretty well marked, and then they've got delicious food as well. So I think kind of if you want to do like a lazy adventure, that's a really good spot for it.
Yeah, kind of like in the same vein, since we're in that area, Sycamore Station opened not too long ago, and it's maybe a little out of the way for some people, but it really is like close to the interstate, so it's not as far out of the way as you think. And they have great food, a lot of great little items you can buy from local crafters, and it's again right on the Hanging Rock Battlefield Trail, so it's another get some lunch, go for a calmer walk if you're not up for hiking a mountain.
Yeah. And I guess this is making me think of these hidden gems that are a lot of new things that have opened that people might not know opened. The Biblio Pub opened downtown over the weekend, and I am dying to get out there. I mean, we're actually just a couple blocks from it right now. We could all walk there. But it's a coffee shop, bookstore, great place to sit and read books. I believe they also do, like at night they're open, and they, you can grab a beer, you can get a glass of wine. So that's something that's really unique. I've been waiting for Roanoke to get something like that for a long time. But then something that's not new that I grew up in Roanoke County. I live in the city now. Burger in the Square is a really, really good burger place that I feel like not a ton of people know about, especially those that live in the city. It's small little parking lot, but it's out in Roanoke County. Off of Brambleton. And it's really good.
Yeah, that's close to where I work. I've been trying to eat at all of the local restaurants around the office, and that's definitely on the list, and it might have just skyrocketed to the top because I've heard a couple of people recently singing its praises.
Yes, which we could go down a whole rabbit hole of food.
I was about to say, this is a good transition. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What are the places to eat?
Where are we eating at?
Obviously, I'm getting breakfast at Scrambled. There's no contest there for me. That's an easy one. Again, I take my dog there. We eat outside, and she gets a sausage, and everybody has a really good time. Probably be at Sub for lunch, getting a banh mi, probably getting pho, even though it's a little bit hot for pho in the summertime. It's a staple, you can't miss it. And then probably for dinner, nawab, I think.
I like that, yeah. I live around the corner from Second Cafe, so I love to start my morning on the weekends by walking to Second. They've got a really good honeydew syrup right now, so I'll get that in my coffee. And they've got pastries from Breadcraft, so I'll get a little Breadcraft pastry, or I will go to the farmer's market on Saturday morning. I will get up at 8 specifically for those R&D donuts. I love going to Crystal Spring Grocery for lunch. Sometimes I'll also do a little bit of shopping there, get some trinkets or a nice little glass of wine. What else? I feel like I had another good lunch spot. So for dinner, I really love Bloom. That is one of my favorite spots. I recently did their Trip for the Table menu. It's actually a really good price point. There's 5 different courses. I love Bloom because they always have something on there. It's always stuff that I've never heard of. I'm always trying something new there, and it never, ever disappoints.
Speaking of a place not to be missed, I know I'm not the travel expert, but we're talking about food, and I do feel like an expert in that. The new brunch menu at Brood in Salem is it's to die for. Don't miss it. If you haven't been to Brood, this is my quick shout out to one of my favorite places. The chicken schnitzel cannot be slept on, and it is both on the brunch menu and the dinner menu. So
I loved their braised short ribs.
Yes, they are
Those are
fantastic.
Really good. And if you're gluten-free, pretty much the entire menu is gluten-free, and you would have no idea.
Exactly. And that's one of the primary reasons that my family goes there. But love it.
I will say I'm a breakfast brunch person, and my 2 favorite spots in the county, it's Famous Toastery. It's just anything you could want, they have. But for a true breakfast, Crumbles downtown, they have, I think, the best biscuits in Roanoke. I will fight people on that.
You're saying that with your whole chest right now.
They have the bread in the biscuits is just so it's perfectly moist and crumbly. But also their cinnamon rolls, that icing is so good on those cinnamon rolls, and they're so soft, they're so moist. Crumbles is where it's at.
Don't you love how we have so many different options to eat around the valley? Yeah. And people get really into it. You have your favorite place. This isn't, we have our chain restaurants and they have their place and they're fine, but this is really, a valley in an area where small businesses and restaurants are just so beloved.
So what are the hidden gems then for food that people might not know about?
Oh my gosh. A1 Afghan is a place that I tried out a couple months ago. Loved that. They have a really unique take on chicken soup. But there's also just like, that's a really great restaurant. It's also kind of like a Middle East grocery store attached to it as well. The pizza cone at Basil's. Has anybody tried that? Basil's Pizza Shop.
But I have seen a few things on that.
I'm dying to try that. Richie Freeze, cash only. They've got really good burgers. I think John Park sings very high praises of their burgers, and really good ice cream as well. Over in the county, they've got Inca Grill, which I know is they've got a couple locations, but and then there's also, have you been to Noodle Factory?
I have. I got their ramen. I've been a couple of times now, I believe, and I've tried something new every time, which is not normal with me. I stick to what I like, and that's kind of it. But their menu is pretty expansive, and everything looks so good that you have to kind of be able to try it all. So I really enjoy Noodle Factory. It's a good ramen spot for sure.
I don't know. I guess this is sort of a hidden gem, but everybody who knows of it loves it. Food Hut over at Golden Cactus. They have an amazing brunch on Sundays and a really good lunch and dinner menu as well. Quincy, who owns R&D, also owns Food Hut, and he has a huge culinary background, so you know that the menu is going to be great. They had a really good shaved broccoli salad. I think they've got a Caesar one going on right now. Fish and chips, a really great brunch, smash burgers. You can't go wrong. Now I think I know where I'm going to go to dinner tomorrow.
That also reminded me of another one while we're on the topic of, restaurants attached to breweries and stuff. Is anyone familiar with the Front Row?
Yes.
Which is a dive bar. Their food menu is actually delicious. They have amazing quesadillas on Mondays. They do ramen nights. They have a I can't remember what the white sauce is called, but a white sauce chicken bacon ranch. Yeah. That's what it is. Not white sauce at all.
You couldn't remember the most iconic
sauce there is in the world.
But they've got one of the best chicken bacon ranch pizzas I have ever had. And that is again, I'm normally cheese only. So I had it one time and I was I don't need a cheese pizza. I need this pizza all the time. It is one of my favorite places to just go and grab dinner and then hang out for a while.
Yeah, I didn't realize Front Row had such a good menu. I can't say I've ever ordered food from there.
I also love Gianni's in Grandin. It's a Creole style restaurant. Yeah. Really, really good food. Last time I was there, I got sort of a platter, so you could try a lot of different things. Highly recommend going there. I went there for dinner, but they're also open for a lunch as well.
Love that. Well, and you got me thinking straight off the bat talking about Williamson Road. I mean, I know some people who will fight you if you say that the best tacos in Roanoke are not on Williamson Road. You are going to find the best. I mean, I'll shout out Lupita's, but there are so many great places to get traditional Mexican food on Williamson Road.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've talked a lot about things to do and food. So how would you plan a day, one day in the Roanoke Valley?
I'd say probably start off with a coffee. Probably I'd suggest Little Green Hive in Crafteria. They're delicious. Maybe get one of the chocolate chip muffins because you can't go wrong with that. Take a little stroll through downtown, kind of pick out some shops and just kind of walk through and see some people. For lunch and to kind of get you in a different area, probably going to Grandin Village, Grace's Pizza, which feels weird to suggest because my name is Grace, but they have some of the best pizza in my opinion. So I'd go there, suggest people walk around a little bit. It's honestly that whole area, even just walking through the houses, I think you get a really good feel for kind of how person-friendly Roanoke is in general. And, it seems like everyone in that area doesn't really know a stranger. They all are happy to greet people, love people walking around, going to some of their stores, probably at least popping my head into Grandin Theater. Love that place. Maybe also catching a movie. They've got 5 screens there, I believe, and they've got kind of, the big hits, but also some indie films when you go, so you can really get, either see a new movie or go see something like Thunderbolts, where you can kind of get both experiences. I'm telling people to go in the water, obviously. I mean, that's happening solo or not solo. I think even if you want to just go, like, rent a tube and kayak, I mean, Roanoke Mountain Adventures will take care of a lot of the planning for you. So doing it solo kind of takes away some of the anxiety of, like, how am I going to get there? How am I going to get back? They've got that all figured out. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. You don't really have to figure out, like, the logistics of it all. They've got it taken care of. Probably staying at the Liberty Trust, getting dinner, maybe a cocktail at the Vault, and then going out to dinner somewhere downtown. I'd suggest just walking around and kind of picking anything that kind of grabs at your eye. I think that's one of the best ways to find a restaurant. I think that would probably be a rough itinerary. Emphasis on rough, but
oh my gosh, there's so much to do for families.
I think going back to Roaring Run, pitching that for family for sure. It's about, 1.1 mile round trip to get up there. To get up there and back. Once you get up there, you can hang out and swim and play in the water as much as you want and then head back. It's pretty easy. My mom can't hike that strenuously, so I took her there and she did it no problem, got up and down. We had a lot of fun. So I think even it's short enough that if your children are small, they can be entertained because it's not an hours long thing. It's maybe 1 hour, depending on how long you want to spend up there. Yeah. And then you've also got, Center in the Square is going to be kind of the one-stop shop. Take them to the Starcade, take them to the Pinball Museum. Yep. Yeah, and one of the very often summer storms we get here, if you have to alter your Roaring Run plans, you can go do something inside at Center in the Square.
If it's too hot or if it's too wet. And if it's not, Treetop Quest, going up to Explorer Park.
That'd be so much fun.
That place is a destination in and of itself. Even if you wanted to do a fun little staycation, their pod cabins and their yurts are a very affordable and accessible price point. So you could do that, have dinner up at Twin Creeks, maybe stay on one of the days that they're doing their Tavern Stage series. And I know that Explorer Park also does twilight zips sometimes. So you can do that in the evening. And then downtown, Benny's with their huge slices of pizza is a really good kid-friendly restaurant.
That sounds like the day that I want right now. Why are we even here? I need to go to Explorer Park and then go to Benny's.
Great. So we've talked a lot about different events and things to do this summer, and on the Out of the Office podcast, I like to end every episode with the guest challenging me to do something I've never done in the Roanoke Valley. So I know you don't know me very well, so it might be a little trying to figure out what I haven't done, but what's a good suggestion for something who's lived here for a while, so might have done a lot to do?
Oh, I like this question. This is might take me a moment to think on, but
we can kind of cheat because you did tell us that on your bucket list is Roaring Run. So I'm going to pitch you do Roaring Run because I know that's one you haven't done.
Ooh, you're a good listener. Very observant.
That's a great callback.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think big, but maybe I should just think something small. Have you tried out Show Pony yet?
I have not
Grandin?
been to Show Pony yet.
Okay, I would definitely try that out. They have a really unique menu too. It's actually one of the people that runs the kitchen is Jeff Farmer, who used to be a chef at Stock and at Lucky. So you already know that the menu is going to be amazing there. And it's kind of creative. That's actually a spot that's got a lot of vegan items on the menu. I had a trout Reuben there from Smoke and Chimneys Trout, the local hatchery, and that was really good. So if you're looking for creative things like that, go hang out there and get a really good cocktail.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kathryn, Grace, Carol, for being on the podcast, and we love getting the summer ideas.
Thank you so much for having us on. We love talking about this area.
So we'll have to do it again in fall and really start getting excited about cool weather.
Yeah.
Once we get through the summer.
Oh, I know we'll be so ready for it by then.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I love the summer. I do not love the temperature of the summer.
Yeah.
If you like this episode, be sure to share it and let us know what's on your summer bucket list.